growing our union.
And we're not going to give up without a fight. We're the fighting machinists. Come on, baby, let's go.
The key to ensuring that the hard work of those in the past who fought for justice on the job reaches far into the generations of the future.
My goal is before I go to my grave that I can see them matchbooks newly printed and in people's toolboxes in the shop. I want to see us get back to 1 million dues-paying members again.
This matchbook is the IAM's past and its future. At 19 years old, Larry Washam became a dues-paying member of the Machinists Union, and his life changed forever. The IAM was 1 million members strong. But because of hard economic and political struggles throughout the U.S., the labor movement has seen its share of tough times. The IAM has never faltered in its fight. And that perseverance is paying off as the American public realizes they need the fighting machinists on their side.
Our members will ask us, well, who can we organize? And I always tell them if they've got a pulse and the ability to pay dues, we'll organize them.
Larry and his staff are just one important part of the solution. The IAM is always working 24/7 to grow the union and protect the middle class. The portrait of the IAM is the faces of its members. The canvas is the IAM leadership and their staffs who are always there with support.
It's like leading a revolution. You know, our guys, they're leading a revolution against these employers. And it's not easy, but they are successful.
Frank Corelli is one of the IAM's directors. He, too, is working to grow our union. One of his jobs is to look after the more than 90,000 IAM members who work for the federal government, and to recruit more who need our help. From mechanics to production line workers to PhDs, the IAM gives all workers a voice, in their workplace and on Capitol Hill. A place some people outside of the labor movement find it hard to believe workers need protection, especially since these men and women save taxpayers millions of dollars each year.
Every single day we get calls in this office, and while we're out in the field, talking with our members or government employees in general, concerned that the government, our own government, would retaliate against them if they blew the whistle on problems they had seen with the way the government was doing their business or the way they were asked to do the government's business. So they rely on us as their not only their voice, but their protector as well.
A good example of how the IAM is working hard to protect everyone is its work with the National Security Personnel System, or the NSPS. Had this passed as it was written, workers in the federal system, and possibly around the globe, would have had little or no voice in the workplace. For 4 years, Frank's team in the IAM worked tirelessly to stop this from happening.
They were dancing in the streets, in particular in the Department of Defense, and all the other agencies that we represent in the federal sector, because they knew that if these personnel systems came to fruition in the Department of Defense, that it was only a matter of time before the rest of the federal sector would have been impacted by these personnel systems.
The IAM's success in this fight was heard throughout the country and beyond, because a win in one industry becomes a gain for all. That's where the IAM's communication strategy comes in, to get the word out on what we're doing for workers everywhere.
What we've tried to do is to pique our members' interest in a particular issue and to get them engaged in a way so that when they talk to their members of Congress or when they talk to their neighbor, they come across and they're able to persuade them that, look, you really need to do something about skills in this country. You really need to do something about how abusive Chinese business is to Chinese women.
To tell the stories of our members allows others to see how the IAM is making great strides for workers, and hopefully makes them want to be part of the movement. It's the frontline workers who do the work of the union.
And I think that that's where the emphasis throughout our union really should be, in empowering the people who are on the front line to do the job that needs to be done. And I think that's what everyone at headquarters and all the departments believes. I know we believe that in the legal department, that we are there as a resource for the people on the front line when they need help.
And it's the IAM's job to get those resources out, especially when it's needed most, like right before a bargaining committee enters into negotiations.
It's not rocket science, a lot of this stuff, but it's outside of someone's comfort zone. They might never have looked at a financial statement before. But when we can take the complex security exchange filings, the annual reports, the 10Ks, the pension form 5500s, we can digest it, analyze it, and put it into presentations and tables that the bargaining committee can use. Once they understand the information, they're much more confident in dealing with the company, and they have the facts at their hands.
Outsourcing is a perfect example of the IAM working together to grow the union and protect jobs of workers around the globe. It's an issue everyone can get behind, whether you hold a union card or not. Because in today's world, it's no longer solely a blue-collar concern.
It is clear that the issues of consolidating industries or of outsourcing industries affect all workers. I mean, it really is everybody's fight. Sometimes we have to remind everybody that it is everyone's fight.
Armed with this knowledge, the IAM works to increase the union's numbers by focusing on areas that cannot be touched by outsourcing. That's how the automotive department is approaching better national contracts for all.
There's zero outsourcing as getting your vehicle repaired. You can't say you're going to send it to China to get it repaired. You may take it to another dealership other than the one that you purchased it from, or you may take it to in another state. But the work has to stay here.
The 3,500 mechanics and automotive technicians at UPS are seeing this success firsthand, and they're talking about it to their friends, neighbors, and coworkers who haven't yet signed up with the IAM.
But here's a company that has agreed at the bargaining table to provide up to 5 years of medical coverage, that you can be off from work and still get $500 a week. I mean, that's amazing. You know, this company gives back. It gives back to their employees and the community. They share their profits.
The same story is told by the IAM workers at HarleyDavidson. For decades, management and the frontline men and women have been setting the curve for what a labor management partnership should look like.
Whether it's an issue related to technology, sourcing, productivity, costing the product, working together to meet what customers are demanding. In each of those factories, we have joint decision-making at the shop floor level, the departmental level, as well as at the plant level.
It's the IAM's High Performance Work Organization, referred to as HPWO. By working with the companies, the IAM is making gains. And it underscores that the machinist way of approaching the issues of the future is also the way to grow the union in the present and keep it alive for generations to come.
The goal of an HPWO partnership is to protect the jobs of our members, to secure their employment. What we do every day is to try to work with our local lodges, our members, and our employers to provide that employment security. Save the jobs, grow the business, be successful in a global marketplace.
That success will only come from the IAM's continued efforts of its leadership and its members to grow this union. Because if history has shown us anything, it's that there is strength in numbers. Strength that can move mountains when fused together. 1 million strong is the next step. Millions with one voice is the ultimate goal.